You're listening to Carolina Forest Panther football on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network, and it starts right now.
Hello and welcome to a little Thursday night football action here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network as the Carolina Forest Panthers get ready to take on the Socastee Braves in the home finale of the 2023 season. Panthers come into this game with a 5-3 record. Socastee comes in at 2-6. My name is Brandon Biskobing. I'll be bringing you all the action tonight. And joining me as usual, Preston Payne. And tonight is the night, Preston. They need a little bit of help. Not much, though. But if the Panthers can do what they need to do tonight, which I believe they can, and Sumter plays the way that we expect them to play against St. James tonight, the Panthers, for the first time since 2019, when Mason Garcia was here, and all of those names on that Panther team going to the lower state championship that year, and only the second time in program history win the region championship.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
With how, and again, we keep comparing this team to last year's team because last year's team finished out so good. That team got killed by Sumter and finished out the regular season like they should have, and then got hot in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But the difference between this team and last year's team is this year's team has something that Carolina Forest football has had a little of, but not a lot of, and that's expectations.
Yes.
This team going into playoffs, going into this game, but looking ahead, going into playoffs, they have expectations to go make a deep run.
And not only that, but the expectations are warranted because even the 3 losses on the schedule were all close games to high-ranking teams in their respective divisions.
Right.
And 1 or 2 plays in each game, and the Panthers could be undefeated right now.
Oh yeah, and it's ridiculous that it took all of my strength not to make a snarky comment through the radio Twitter. But you beat a top 10 team. So whenever you're racing, if I'm in 10th place and I pass the person in 9th place, guess what place I'm in now? Ninth.
Yeah.
Apparently in the media poll for South Carolina 5A, it doesn't work like that.
But, I mean, we talked about this when it comes to college football before we went on the air, too. Unfortunately, because of certain biases and whatnot, media polls do not always work that way.
Yeah, and for all intents and purposes, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's going to be based on
exactly.
Seating is going to be bracket play is going to be based on seating.
Unlike in college, the media
really
poll doesn't really matter. You win on the field, and that's what the Panthers are going to look to do tonight against Socastee, who their schedule looks interesting. They won the first game of the season. That was against North Myrtle Beach by a grand total of 6-0.
I wonder if that's I don't know if you're familiar with this term. I wonder if that's a South Carolina high school scoregami.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. It may very well be.
I don't think it is.
Probably not.
Because of how easy it would be to get it.
Yeah.
But it is good to mention scoregami when I can.
Then they proceed to lose their next 6 games before beating Conway last week 27-21.
And it's also they blew they had a 14-point lead going into the fourth quarter against St.
James, and
they
blew it. Yeah.
So again,
I mean, if that game went differently, this game could have been the one to deter. Like the Panthers would have just had to win this game, and it would have been they would have been region champions.
But Obviously, that did not happen.
Yeah.
So, I think before we get into this game, we have one major piece of news that we need to talk about before that happened over the week.
Yes.
So, North-South
Touchstone Energy Cooperative North-South game that's always held at Doug Shaw Stadium. Top players in the state, from the upstate and the lower state, North and South, come together to play an all-star game. Biggest all-star game in the state of South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
And Philip McLean was the only Horry County player to be...
Nate Schuessler, who's currently at a D1 football for college. And neither of them made the North-South game, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, they didn't.
So it is ridiculous. And that should tell you the level that Philip McLean is on, because those two racked up yards after yards after yards. And
I think the last player, if I remember correctly, although I don't even know if I think they picked the team. They didn't play the game, but I think they did pick the teams. And I believe the last player from Carolina Forest to make the game was Kyle Watkins.
Got you.
If not, it's definitely Mason Garcia.
But
although I think he made it, but it was, I think, like Ryan Berger was in that same, or not Ryan Berger, Luke Doty was also in that class. So I believe both of them made it for the South team. But, I mean, talking about that, you mentioned that in the last 4 years, presumably the last 4 years, an entire class now of Carolina Forest has had at least one player make it to Division I.
Yeah,
and that just shows how quickly this program has grown under Mark Morris.
So, getting into this game, we mentioned before we went on air how some of that, based on the stats at least, it seems as though Socastee is more of a passing offense.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how that kind of equates to this Panthers defense as they're going to do the national anthem. So we will be back in about 2 minutes.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Comfort Dog Grooming Salon has been part of the Carolina Forest community pet grooming needs with quality and loving care for your pets for over 15 years. Large, medium, or small, they groom them all. They've always accepted new clients, and rebooking is easy. With 31 years experience with their staff, they're up to date on techniques and safety standards for all breeds, and the medical distance are no problem. They're active in your community with youth sports and lending a helping hand. Call them to be a part of the family with your furry friend. 843-903-4554 or at comfortdogsalon.com, or just stop by with your furry friend at 4006 Postal Way, Myrtle Beach.
Welcome back as we are just a few moments away from kickoff here at Panther Stadium for the home finale of the 2023 season. And you were making a point before we took the break for the national anthem about Socastee's passing offense against Carolina Forest passing defense.
And I made note that you asked me if that played into our favor or not, and I looked at you and I said, because it's not because obviously the Panthers played outstanding and wall to wall, just great defense by the Panthers last week. Just backs were up against the wall. I think they started with like 3 or 4 drives in that second half that started in the own 40. So they basically picked up the slack when the offense did.
Yeah.
And so I think to answer your question in a roundabout way, I don't think it matters. I think this defense is just very good, and I think that'll be what keeps this team going, especially along in playoffs.
Now, looking at it, and it's absolutely the case. They have a little over 1,600 passing yards and 16 passing touchdowns offensively. Rushing yards only 665 and only 6 rushing touchdowns. So definitely more of a pass-happy offense. Now, on the flip side, and we were talking to the Socastee broadcaster, who as a result of some programming issues, they are not broadcasting tonight. So if you're a Socastee fan listening to us, welcome. We will be biased. We will be somewhat biased, obviously, as expected, as they are getting ready for the coin toss on the field. But defensively, it's the complete opposite. He was mentioning that the Socastee defense is very porous on the running game, and the stats back it up. 740 passing yards allowed and 6 passing touchdowns. Any guess how many rushing yards?
2,500.
Not quite. A little over 2,000.
Okay. What's the exact? What was the exact?
2005.
Okay, so yeah, I wasn't.
And 28 touchdowns.
Oh God, that's the worst part.
Yeah, that's
okay. I'm telling you right now, this is my bold prediction. Khalil Johnson goes over 250 tonight.
Over 250.
It would be a career night. It'll be a career night for Khalil Johnson.
Oh wow.
And that might even be too high, only because he might not play even till the third quarter.
We'll get to that later on as this game progresses, but especially considering you're anticipating a region title and getting ready for the playoffs, what do you do in a blowout situation tonight? I know you've flip-flopped throughout the season.
You don't. This is a playoff game.
Yes,
because you're still trying to clinch to get into the playoffs. They're having trouble running through the tunnel. They aren't running. Oh, they're playing. They're waiting.
Yeah,
for
they were just getting.
I was really confused.
I did not see the coin toss. Did you?
I didn't. I couldn't tell who won and who didn't. But and I would say, if you are Mark Morris, I don't take anyone out unless I don't take anyone out to the fourth quarter, and unless we're up 3 scores.
Yeah,
that's where I would take him out, because if fourth quarter up 3 scores, that game is pretty much out of reach. The only person I might not take out is Ethan Hamilton, only because he had the 2 interception game last week, and that can't be good for his confidence.
And I just want to get a quick shout out before this game starts. Trevor, who is the statistician for St. James, said he'll give us updates throughout the night. We'll have all those updates. Unfortunately for us,
they start at 7:30, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately for us, in terms of actually being able to announce the clinch tonight, it probably won't happen because their game starts at 7:30, whereas for some reason they decided to put us at 7 tonight. So half-hour difference. So we won't have any sort of update on that for a little while. Probably at least until the second quarter.
Right.
But it looks like not sure who won the toss, but Socastee is going to receive the ball to start off the game. Carolina Forest will get the ball to start the second half, which, I mean, in this game doesn't really matter, but that's always my choice.
Let's not say it doesn't matter yet. The game is not started yet. This is almost the reverse of the Conway game. You're coming off.
Well, let me actually ask you about that, especially as a player. Now, it's a little different in a sport like basketball where you have less of a gap to kind of compose yourself, but coming off of the high of a victory like Sumter, is there a bit of a cool down?
I think the comments Khalil Johnson made after the win last week are telling.
Okay.
He said that was the hump they wanted to get over.
Yeah.
Mark Morris says a lot by saying we still have two more teams that we need to play in the county, as J.J. Chaddock is going to run up, and we are underway in what is a big game for Carolina Forest in a clinching scenario. Fielded at the goal line. He's going to reverse field out to the far side. He's got a man. He's going to get tripped up at the 25-yard line, and that's where Socastee will start the game.
Kind of surprising. J.J. Chaddock actually booted it deep, but
didn't get it quite far.
Well, and they were able to get it up all the way up to the 25-yard line.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it was right on the goal line. So had it been like a foot further,
it would have been a touchback. Yeah. So Socastee will come out on offense to start tonight's game on the 25-yard line. Rocco Wojcik, empty backfield to start off. 3 wide on the near side, 2 wide on the far side. They'll motion a man. They'll run a fake jet sweep, and Wojcik has to spin out, still on his feet, trying to get around the corner, and is pushed out of bounds at around the 37-yard line. And that was just a broken play that Wojcik was able to do something with and get a first down.
And they're going to say he stepped out a little bit early, they're going to mark him down a little sooner.
They're going to mark him down all the way back at the 33-yard line, so it'll be a 2nd and 3.
And something you see more on the college level, but Socastee's using cards for their play calling.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. They'll motion a man. They'll run the triple option. Wojcik will keep it himself, and he'll fall forward just in front of the line to gain for the first down.
Looks like enough for a first down.
So Socastee gets a first down to start this game. Ball on the 37-yard line.
This one thing this Panthers defense is going to need to do is just if Wojcik is going to be the only person that really touches the ball, they're going to have to stop that at some point.
Yeah.
There's in a triple option offense where you only have really one option, that's not.
Well, the other man to watch is definitely Kadir Scott, who is the slot receiver. They'll go empty backfield. They'll run the. Oh no!
I don't even know what just happened. He just took a knee.
Yeah, he just took a knee.
It must have been a bad snap.
Yeah, It looked like it was going to be a fake jet sweep, and he just decided just went down for a loss of 5.
In his defense, he was about to get
smacked.
Oh
no, yeah. It would have been a loss regardless, so it'll be 2nd and 15 for Socastee.
As the refs are convening again. This is where we're at in life. Tell me if you've heard this one before. The refs are convening about something that's going on in the world.
Hey, the good thing about next week, we'll actually have mics on the refs.
We will have mics on the refs. I really want to see. Now there's one ref talking to each of the coaches on either side.
Something must have happened on that play. I don't quite know.
They're not changing the down and distance outside of where the ball was spotted to start with. Back at the 31-yard line.
And now looks like they're ready to get play underway again.
Okay.
Yep. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. Wojcik takes the snap, rolls out to his left, looking, throws it high, and it is completed at the 40-yard line. Having to dive for the catch is Josh Brown. And that'll make it a 2nd and 8, or 3rd and 8, rather.
I do like that scheme by the defensive coordinator, Coach Lovett. He sent Charles McCray on a corner blitz and got pressure on Rocco immediately. Now, it didn't affect the pass in terms of incompletion, but Rocco was definitely hindered on that throw.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Socastee, 3-step drop for Wojak. Wojak getting some pressure, has to step up in the pocket. He'll get out into the lane and get pushed out of bounds by Charles McCray, short of the line to gain, and it'll be 4th down.
And Charles McCray, again, he set the edge right there off that cornerback spot.
And a good job by McCray, especially as a safety. You're normally back in coverage.
Right.
And a good job seeing that Wojak was stepping up in the pocket and was preparing to run, and he was able to get to him fast. As the punt is up, the Panthers will let it bounce, and it will roll down to the 15-yard line. And that's where the Panthers will start on offense in their first drive offensively with a little over 9 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
And a quick drive, and even though it wasn't a 3-and-out, by proxy it might as well be because of how quickly the defense was able to get off the field.
And after that 1 first down, the Panthers basically buckled down and said, okay, Socastee can move the ball a little bit. We got to put more pressure. They'll go shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side for Carolina Forest. Hamilton motions a man over into the H-back position, takes the snap, hands it off to Khalil Johnson. Khalil Johnson tries to find a lane, but will only get a couple. And it'll be 2nd and 7.
And while we said the Socastee run defense was bad, we didn't say they were a pushover.
No.
And so we're not expecting every run to go for a million yards.
But I could definitely see a few big gainers breaking off. 1 hole, and that's probably all you need.
Oh, yeah.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Hamilton takes the snap, hands it off to Khalil Johnson, and Johnson will get stood up after a gain of 2. And it'll be 3rd and 5.
One thing to make note of is the fact that Carolina Forest was wildly inefficient running the ball last week, and we attributed that a lot to who they
close to the first down marker and get past it for the first Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down of the evening. But another thing to think about, this is not the running game of a couple of years ago with Luke Janak where he could break off a 75-yarder every play. Khalil Johnson, yes, he'll break off a few, but it's a much more methodical 3 yards in a cloud of dust type running attack.
At points, though.
Yes.
Imagine telling that to somebody who listened to the Conway game.
True.
Every other run was a 20-yard plus game. It's been sporadic when they've been able to break off big plays.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side, 1 on the far side. The run speed option. Hamilton pitches it out to Johnson, and it gets away from him, gets out of bounds. Lucky for the Panthers, as the cornerback number 9, don't have him on my depth chart.
Either way, it was almost in his hands, and he just
he was not
let it go in the on the backside. But luckily for Carolina Forest, they get to retain possession.
Yeah, very lucky there. That was Preston May who almost fell on it. Low snap, they'll hand it off to Johnson, and he gets stood up at the line for a gain of 2. So it'll be 3rd and 8, and these are the types of plays that the Panthers do not want to get into because they do not have the personnel for 3rd and long.
No, but like I've said time and time again, go throw a screen pass to Finian Mahood out in space.
Which they may very well be doing because they've got 3 wide on the far side. Hamilton takes a snap, 3-step drop, actually looking deep, throws it up, and it is
off
incomplete.
his fingertips. Wow. That was honestly a really good throw by Ethan Hamilton right there.
Much better than we've seen in weeks prior.
Right.
Trying to get it to Mahood, but just a little too far. And the Panthers, after getting 1 first down, go 3 and out, and looks like the defenses are coming up strong to start off this game. 6:15 left to go in the first quarter.
You wonder if some of those issues with that running game, as Ethan Hamilton's going to punt it, it's going towards the near side sideline, and it's going to take a beautiful Panthers roll inside the 20, inside the 15, and sit right at the 14-yard line. Great punt.
That ball landed at the 30-yard line and rolled over 15 yards down the field.
That was a really good punt by Ethan Hamilton, and we've seen that a few times this year, and it's been a lot more hit or miss on his leg than J.J. Taddock's leg on the kicking game.
Yes. So the Braves will start with the ball on their own 14-yard line and try to get something going offensively. And how much of, especially on the offense, is, you think, coming down from last week?
I think this is getting settled in the game. I don't think I'm not worrying yet. Yeah. And does it really matter, though, if the defense is playing as well as they have?
No, it doesn't. But you don't want to get into a situation like you had last week.
Right.
At the same time.
Don't want to get into a dogfight with Socastee.
Yeah.
As there's some type of pause on the field. I don't know what's preventing.
Oh, the chain. I think there's something wrong with the chain, maybe? Because they're looking at the chain. And
there we go.
Guess they got it. Yeah, it looks like they got it fixed. They'll go empty backfield. They'll run a jet sweep, getting a hole and pushing his way forward close to the first down marker is Kadir Scott. We'll see where the spot is. And they're going to mark him just short. It'll be a 9-yard gain for Scott on the jet sweep.
And okay, this defense has been very bend but don't break all year. I'm not worried yet, but you got to think if the Panthers can't pull away in this game, what type of underlying issues are there?
Yeah.
And that's going to be an offside. That's going to give Socastee a free first down, I believe.
No, it's going to be a false start. Yeah, they were pulled offside.
Pulled offsides.
I believe by the right guard Yoshi Spiegel.
And with that penalty, again, Carolina Force has been pretty opportunistic with the penalties and being able to force punts off of penalties. We saw that a lot last week with Sumter. Can they continue to do it in this game against Socastee?
So that makes a 2nd and 1, now a 2nd and 6. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Wojcik takes a snap, looking deep down the near side. It's underthrown, but coming back to the ball and making the catch is Josh Brown. And that'll be a first down to the 45-yard line.
And the one thing that I can say that I don't like about this Panthers defense, the big plays
they allow those big pass plays, which plays right into Socastee's hands.
Right.
They'll go. This time, fake jet sweep. He'll throw it down the middle, and wide open is Kadir Scott. He's going to the far side, and he's taken out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That was honestly a pro level read right there.
Well,
Wojcik was able to lay, but the reason I say that is he was able to layer that ball after the play action. When you bring those linebackers up, you have to layer the ball, and by that I mean get it over the linebacker's head, but in between the safeties, and that was exactly what happened. And
it was just that just basic play action pass where it's that crossing route,
right?
And Scott was just left wide open. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. High snap, Wojcik getting some pressure, able to roll out, looking for somewhere to go, pulling it down and getting taken down at the 7-yard line for a loss of maybe 1. They'll actually mark him down at the 8. And that was a good job by the Panthers this time.
The Panthers have gotten really good pressure on Wojcik tonight. It's just been he's been able to get out of it.
Lofted it over their heads.
Right.
But this is a spot where the Panthers have done very well thus far this season, is in the red zone defensively.
Right.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either, actually empty backfield, 3 wide on the near side. They'll run the jet sweep again to Scott. Scott tries to get around the corner, but he's got nowhere to go, is able to get a couple, and gets taken down at the 4-yard line. Big third down here.
Big third down, but also on that jet sweep, one thing that we talked about a lot last week, too, was setting the edge if you're the defense. And right there, he bounced out a few times and was able to get a couple yards, but he wasn't able to actually turn the corner and start going upfield, and that was the big part of that play that kept that from being a touchdown.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. 3-step drop, a short dump-off pass is caught right at the goal line.
And they're going to rule him
short. They're going to say he was just short. Caden O'Keefe, the running back, just caught it out of the backfield in the flat. And now it's 4th and goal, and
I would assume you go for it here.
I think they are.
Yeah, Wojcik staying on the field.
And this would be a huge stop for the Panthers early on in the game. 2:15 left to go in the first quarter.
And it would be huge, especially after the 2 really big plays that Socastee's gotten on this drive.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. They'll actually move Scott into the backfield.
Short.
They run the triple option, and Wojcik keeps it himself, tries to dive forward, and is stuffed at the goal line for a turnover on downs.
And Wojcik is pleading his case to the refs.
Yeah.
He's saying
he tried
got the
to
ball
reach
across,
it out.
but the Panthers get a stop, and that's huge.
That's a huge momentum boost for the Panthers early on in this game. Still scoreless with 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter.
And I believe it was Junior Jimenez who came over off that edge and was able to blow that play up because it looked like Wojcik had a touchdown, and he just all of a sudden just got wrapped up by his legs.
Now, the issue that you have to worry about with the Panthers right here, they're on their own goal line.
Yeah.
You need to get out of here. And a whistle is blown. This may be a full start on the Panthers. Not really that they have anywhere to go.
I don't think you have anywhere to go.
But they're right on the goal line. No, it's an offside. So the Panthers get a break and get pushed up to the 5-yard line. And that gives them a little bit more room to maneuver.
And I know we've talked about how good Khalil Johnson is, but there's been 4 run plays, and all of them have gone to Khalil Johnson.
Yeah.
I think there has to be some type of balance in your running game if you're going to run this much, if you're going to run the ball that much.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Hamilton takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson.
No, he kept it.
Oh, no, kept it himself, and falls forward to the 13-yard line, and that'll be enough for Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. And you mentioned, giving it to someone else, and that's exactly what happened right there. Ethan Hamilton keeping himself on the read option.
Right. Great play, and that was a good play because Ethan Hamilton made a couple guys miss on his way to that first down, and that's exactly what you want from your QB who's supposed to be the secondary ball carrier.
Yeah. One kind of surprising thing, we haven't seen any of the other running backs thus far tonight. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. They'll hand it off to Johnson, and Johnson will break through the line and get up to the 21-yard line for a gain of 8.
And that
nice little run there.
Yeah, nice little run, and that's probably the first gain. Well, it's the second.
42 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And
very quick moving first quarter.
Yeah, well, both teams have been moving the ball very quickly.
Yeah.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Hamilton takes the snap, keeps it himself this time on the read option, and just dives forward to the 36-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 37, actually. And it will be a second and 6.
Carolina Forest doesn't have to run another play here. I would if you're Mark Morris. There's not really a harm in doing it. Maybe you get a big play and end the first quarter with a bang.
15 seconds left to go in the quarter, and they will run another play. Hand it off to Johnson. Johnson tries to get around the corner, and he does. Gets the first down and more before getting taken down at the 50-yard line. And that will stop the clock, but once they set it, the clock will run, so it probably won't get another play off. Clock is running, and that will end the first quarter. Not exactly the first quarter we expected. Still scoreless as we head to the second quarter. We'll take a quick break and come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony Mack to the State Farm neighborhood with Tony Mack.
I mean, he's got 6 yards of carry. If you're trying to win high school football games, that's not necessarily what you want.
Why would you think that they're sticking exclusively to Khalil Johnson?
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the
other running back has come into the game thus far. Now, granted, like you said when we were off the air, this is only the second drive for Carolina Forest, but still. Yeah. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. They'll move Ober into the H-back position, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson finds a lane and gets the first down and more, getting taken down at the 40-yard line. That's another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. And maybe that's why they're keeping Johnson in the game, just seem to get that engine going and see, okay, he's starting to heat up. Yeah. Let's see if he can break a big one.
I mean, his last 4 carries, 8 yards, 12 yards, 9 yards. That one was 15. Like, he's definitely starting to warm up, and that's something that you want out of your main running back.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Hamilton motions Ober into the H-back position on the near side. Keeps it himself on the read option and falls forward to the 34-yard line for a gain of 6. And like we said, the offense is starting to get
wrong with the 2
down at the 15-yard line. That's another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest.
Yeah. But I don't know why we're not seeing more of that 2 running back set that we've seen so much this season.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. And a whistle is blown. I think this one probably will be a full start, but we've been fooled before.
I feel like there has not actually been a football game yet.
Yeah, this game has been one of those, I don't even want to say defensive battles. It's just been kind of mess thus far. Ober moves over to the H-back position on the far side. They'll hand it off to Johnson, and he gets stuffed at the line. That is number 40 for 44, the nose tackle, Ethan Godwin, who made the tackle. He just blew up Braxton Ratliff.
I'd still like to remind everybody that this is not what the Carolina Forest offense is built for.
Question here, because, like what you were about to say, these types of plays are not what the Panthers offense are built for. Although now they finally do get a 2 running back.
They finally get the Jared Fox in.
They'll take the snap. They'll hand it off to Khalil Johnson. Khalil Johnson finds a lane, but gets stood up at the 11-yard line. And that'll bring up a 4th and 6. And now the question I was about to ask, what do you do here? Do you kick the field goal and get the point?
I think they're going to kick the field goal.
Yeah.
This offense has not inspired me at all.
And that's not, like, the defense, and this is what we in the game. Oh, no, it's good. Okay. It looked like it was hooking left, or hooking right, rather. But it is able to sneak it through the upright. So with 7.5 minutes left to go in the first half, the first points of the game are a field goal. And it's 3-0 Panthers. We'll take a quick break. Come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Comfort Dog Grooming Salon has been part of the Carolina Forest community pet grooming needs with quality and loving care for your pets for over 15 years. Large, medium, or small, they groom them all. They've always accepted new clients, and rebooking is easy. With 31 years experience with their staff, they're up to date on techniques and safety standards for all breeds, and the medical conditions are no problem. They're active in your community with youth sports and lending a helping hand. Call them to be a part of the family with your furry friend. 843-903-4554 or at ComfortDogSalon.com, or just stop by with your furry friend at 4006 Postal Way, Myrtle Beach.
3-0 Panthers in the lead with 7.5 left to go in the first half, and we talked about it before we went to break. This offense does not look good thus far, and yes, defenses win championships, but this does not fare well for the Panthers going into the playoffs.
Yeah, and this offense is it's reminiscent of the Sumter game, but we made the excuse for them that it was Sumter, so they're going to play a little worse.
Exactly.
This has not been good, as J.J. Chaddock is going to kick it deep once again, and it'll be fielded in the end zone, which will cause a touchback. So Socastee will field it, or will start their drive at the 20.
Is it the wind or what? But J.J. Chaddock's leg has not looked quite as strong as usual.
I mean, I don't know. I think we're reading too much into it. I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
Okay, fair enough. Because when he would boot it deep, he'd boot it all the way into the back of the end zone.
Yeah, I don't. You also, I wonder if some of the struggles on offense are the shorter week.
That is a good point.
And the late decision, because this wasn't moved until after school on
Wednesday. That
Wednesday.
is a good point.
So
that's something because you were playing it was JV, but you were playing JV basketball during the pandemic, as they'll hand it off.
Fumble.
And the ball is on the ground. We'll see if the Panthers come up with it, and they do.
I haven't seen an official point yet. Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be a fumble. It'll be a fumble.
The Panthers come up with the fumble on the first play of the Socastee drive, and already they are 1 yard away. That impact your
It did get
psyche.
a little, the psyche was a little bad, as Khalil Johnson's going to take a handoff right up the middle, and he will take it all the way down to the first down marker, and it's going to be a little bit short, but it'll be second and inches after a first down run by Khalil Johnson. And it did mess, because we had a couple times where we were supposed to play games on a Wednesday, and Tuesday night we get a text and say we find out we're not playing.
Yeah.
It did mess with the psyche.
On the read option, and we'll get down to the 9 yard line, and that'll be enough for a Tony Panthers. But yeah, so that'll be enough for a Tony Panthers. But yeah, so that's something that I didn't even think about that at first, and then you mentioned it. Yeah,
so far this is a little
and
rough.
only one play that we've seen any other running back on the field.
I mean, even Ethan Hamilton, who's obviously been on the field for every snap, only has 4 carries.
Yeah.
So that's still a little concerning as well. I wonder if Mark Morse is just trying to feed. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah. There's a flag.
Wow.
An eligible man
Okay.
downfield on Carolina Forest.
Never
so that's going to be taken off.
Okay. So a tough break for the Panthers. That's the best ball Ethan Hamilton has thrown all season, I think.
Yeah, I would venture to say that.
5.5 minutes left to go in the first half.
I will also add that, though, that this wide receiving core has had a lot of drops. Yeah. That is another thing that I've noticed.
They haven't taken the touchdown off the board yet.
Yeah, the scoreboard operates a little slow. We've noticed.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. They'll run the speed option, and it doesn't matter because he's taking it off the board because the Panthers are just going to score on the next play.
Right. And
J.J. Chaddock coming out to kick the extra point. It is up and good. And with 5:20 left to go in the half, it is 10-0 Panthers, and finally it seems like, okay, now it helped that the Panthers forced and then recovered a fumble to give the offense a red zone drive. But still, now it finally feels like everything's starting to click for Carolina Forest.
Yeah, and I think I'm wondering if the slow start is attributed to the fact that it's a different day.
It's a weird day. You're not used to it.
Like your body, especially as a football player, your body's so used to that 7-day rest.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what it is.
And also, I would have to assume that Thursdays on a normal week is kind of a light day. It's, just basically a walkthrough, essentially.
Right.
On a Thursday. I know it's only 7:38, but is there any update right now in St. James Sumter?
There's no message that has been sent yet. I'm gonna go check his account to see if
he does it on Max Preps as well. So
okay, I will go check if Max Preps has an update on that.
Game probably just started.
Yeah, games.
So.
I mean, we're only 9 minutes in actual clock time.
As the kick is up, and it will be fielded at the 1 yard line again, trying to get a hole and getting taken down at the at the 18-yard line. Jonathan Goswick with the return, and the Braves will have to contend with a longer than they would have wanted field.
But, okay, here's the thing. They just called Christopher Livingston, which means he's not hurt because he was on the tackle on the kick team. So I am.
It might just be they want to get Khalil Johnson ready for the playoffs.
Maybe
I don't know. Rocco Wojcik comes back out onto the field trying to recover from and a whistle is. Oh wait,
maybe.
Yep. No. An offside on the Panthers, and they'll push Socastee up 5 yards and make it a 1st and 5 from the 23-yard line.
So the only update that was that Sumter kicked off to St. James, and St. James will start their own 20. That was at 7:39. So
okay. They literally just started.
Yeah.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Snap. 3-step drop for Wojcik. He scrambles out to his left and throws it on the run, and it's almost intercepted.
That was very close to being picked off by, again, Mr. Charles McCray, who just seems to be everywhere tonight. Yeah. It does seem like this Panthers defense is finally locking in to where because this isn't just a bad offense.
Yeah.
They did this against Sumter last week, too. I think they're finally.
1 wide on either side. Gang the jet sweep, and Gang stood up in the backfield. A great job by the Panthers defense getting into the backfield on the jet sweep for a loss of 3.
Principe. Yeah, Jonathan Principe on that tackle.
But there were a bunch of Panthers around Scott on that play. Empty backfield. 3 wide on the far side, 2 wide on the near side. Now motions a man over to the far side as well. Rolling out to his left, now stepping up into the pocket and getting bulldozed down right at the line of scrimmage is Wojcik. And that was Christopher Livingston, who's playing defense now for some reason, playing middle linebacker.
Maybe why we're not seeing him as often on the offensive side of the ball. But I mean, Christopher Livingston is a running back, and I mean linebacker build at the running back position, so that kind of makes sense.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Wojcik takes a snap, 3-step drop, looking down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete.
Good defense by Jordan Sandiford in that slot corner spot.
Trying to get to Hayes Hardwick.
I mean, that's textbook. That'll be shown. When they do film sessions, that'll be shown as to how to play a ball without pass interference.
Yeah.
That was a really good defense by Jordan Sandiford. The most important part about that, though, stops the clock. We're at 3:16, and there's time for this Panthers offense to get something going.
And that gives Socastee a 4th down, so you'd have to assume they're going to punt it away. High snap. Wojcik gets the punt off. Fair catch signal is made and caught at the 40-yard line.
It was
muffed a little bit,
but it fell right in his leg.
Yeah.
So that
Carson
was okay.
Kwan was able to fall on at the punt returner, and so the Panthers will start the ball at the 40-yard line. 3 minutes left to go in the half. All 3 timeouts too for the Panthers.
Khalil Johnson has 15 carries right now. We are not even to the second half yet. That is slightly for 91 yards, so he's been pretty efficient on it. But that is just
not quite to the level that you were thinking, though.
No.
I don't know if he's going to get to
although
the
if he breaks one here, that could be big for
They'll
us.
go 2 running back set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off to Johnson. Johnson finds a hole and falls forward to the 48-yard line. And that'll be a 9-yard. They'll mark him down at the 49, so it'll be a 9-yard gain for Johnson.
And Khalil Johnson hits the 100-yard mark on the dot on that run.
Going 2 running back set again. This time Hamilton keeps himself, pitches it out to Fox, and he'll fall forward to the 48-yard line. That'll be enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
The first carry by Jaron Fox tonight, and we are sitting at the 2:30 mark of the second quarter.
Interesting that they're running the triple option reverse of how they usually do it, with Jaron Fox being
On the outside.
pitchback.
As Ethan Hamilton's going to get blown up in the backfield for a loss of about 9. That was a miscommunication. He showed the ball to the wrong side.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he turned around to go to the
There was
opposite
a
speed out, there's a
defender
defender
right there.
Loss of 7 on the play. Looks like a 2nd and 17.
So it'll be 2nd and 17, ball on the 47-yard line of Carolina Forest.
Now, Jamari Davis just entered the game for Carolina Forest, and I want you to remember that in a couple minutes or a couple seconds, because that ball could be going to 23's number.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side.
No safety help on that side either, so it's one-on-one matchup.
Hamilton takes the snap. They'll run a speed option. Hamilton keeps it himself, bounces it inside, still on his feet, and dives forward to the 46-yard line. Gets it back to the original line of scrimmage, and it will be 3rd and 10.
Brings the ball back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10 from the 46-yard line for Carolina Forest.
And this right here would be where I would take a shot with Jamari Davis. You had him on the first route. You had him wide open.
And they have to start moving if they want to score before the half.
Yeah, there's only a minute left.
Only a minute left. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Play action pass. Hamilton looks near side, throws it to the sideline just short. So it'll be 4th and inches from the 37-yard line.
He did get out of bounds, though.
Conway. Yeah, did stop the clock with just over a minute left to go. They're going to go for it. Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Hamilton hands it off to Johnson. Johnson will get the first down before getting taken down at the 35-yard line. So that'll be another Tony McAfee State Farm. Carolina Forest first down. And that will stop the clock with the first down with 58 seconds left to go.
And they're going to call, and Carolina Forest just called a timeout.
Mark Morris will say we need a timeout with 58 seconds left to go.
It is really weird that we're not seeing a whole lot of Jaron Fox this game. And it just, you don't want to run your star running back into the ground before playoffs.
Yeah, that's one thing that's worrisome, is that, you know, you're going to want to, especially with this offense, you're going to have to rely on Khalil Johnson to be effective and efficient in the playoffs, and you don't want to wear him down, especially with his history from last year.
From last year with the torn labrum.
Was it a labrum or
labrum? It was something. Torn something.
Yeah,
I
thought
believe
it was
torn
labrum. Okay, it may have been.
No, it was a labrum.
So that, you know, that, especially considering that, because once you tear something like that, the chance
that
of
you redo it
of tearing it again is increased.
Now, you also wonder if the offense looks maybe a little shaky because they're trying some new things in terms of formations and stuff for playoffs, because Clark Morris does not deem Socastee that good.
Using this game as an experimental game. 3-step drop for Hamilton. Hamilton will look for a man down the middle of the field. 2 receivers in the area, but is not able to connect with either of them, and he falls incomplete. 51.6 seconds left to go in the half.
It hit 3 different hands.
Yeah.
It hit Charles McCray in the seam. It hit a Socastee defender, and then I think Finney Mahood may have gotten a tip on it.
Yeah, McCray was on the in route, and then Mahood was on the post route.
Yeah. And 2nd and 10 here with 51 seconds. You still have 2 timeouts, which means your entire playbook is available if you want to run it.
Yeah. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Hamilton takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson. Johnson has nowhere to go and gets taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Barely going to say you got a yard.
Yeah.
But you got to hurry, too. If you're Mark Morris isn't taking a timeout right now.
Yeah. 38 seconds left to go in the half.
You got to go. You only got 30 seconds left. I don't know why you're not taking a timeout right here.
Well,
not now, but.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Hamilton, 3-step drop, looking down the middle of the field again, and it is incomplete.
Looking for Jamari Davis.
Trying to get to Jamari Davis in the end zone on a post route, and it falls incomplete. So with 19.9 seconds left to go.
Well, what do you do here? Because you're in no man's land now. With 20 seconds to go.
At this point, you got to go for it, especially with 2 timeouts left. You go for it because you're too far. It's too far for a J.J. Chag field goal.
Yeah.
So, and you're not going to punt it from here. So, yeah, you got to go for it.
Yeah, that clock management by Mark Morris was not the best right there.
That's something we talked about. Not so much this year, but last year was definitely an issue.
Right.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Hamilton throws a bullet down to the near side. It is caught by Jamori Davis, and it is just enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. And I believe Coach Morris did call a timeout with 13.3 seconds left to go in the half. One thing I will say, though, and maybe this is something he's been training on, especially after the Conway game. Well, was it Conway or Sumter they threw the 3 interceptions?
No, he had 2 picks last week against Sumter.
Okay, yeah. Especially after last week.
It's not Jamari Davis deep ball a couple plays ago. That was his only read. He stared down Jamari Davis. That's not what you normally want to do, but it's either you throw that or you scramble. And I think that's probably a lot better for Ethan Hamilton. He's not going 1 read and then 2 and then scramble. It's just very quick and concise.
Yeah.
With only 13 seconds here, I want to know what Mark Morris dials up on this play call.
I'm guessing a pass.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to assume, but I just want to know in what fashion they're going to pass the ball here.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Hamilton takes a snap, 5-step drop, rolls out to his right, looking for a man, and throws it to the far side end zone, and it's incomplete. Looked like it was on target to Finney Mahood.
And it also looked like the DB might have been a little early as well. That was close.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good no call, but it was definitely close as to when the DB arrived.
So with 6.1 seconds left to go in the half now,
J.J. Chag's coming on for a 40-yard field goal.
I was about to ask, do you try to go for another ball into the end zone, or do you try to kick the field goal?
He hit a 44-yarder last week as the clock's running.
It'll be a 40-yarder. And they'll just let it go as the kick is up
no good.
Wow. Just off the mark. And I wonder if J.J. Chaddock, the clock shouldn't have been running there.
Yeah,
I wonder if he rushed it.
Yeah.
It looked like he rushed it.
Yeah, why was the clock running?
I don't know. That's been one issue we've been having.
I don't know.
All season long.
Yeah. Going into halftime, though.
But we'll take a quick break and come right back with some first half stats and analysis and get you ready for the second half here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Comfort Dog Grooming Salon has been part of the Carolina Forest community pet grooming needs with quality and loving care for your pets for over 15 years. Large, medium, or small, they groom them all. They've always accepted new clients, and rebooking is easy. With 31 years experience with their staff, they're up to date on techniques and safety standards for all breeds, and the medical distance are no problem. They're active in your community with youth sports and lending a helping hand. Call them to be a part of the family with your furry friend. 843-903-4554 or at comfortdogsalon.com or just stop by with your furry friend at 4006 Postal Way, Myrtle Beach.
We are at halftime here at Panther Stadium with the score 10-0 in A very interesting game thus far, to say the least.
I don't know how you would describe this game so far.
I don't know how to describe this game either. First, let's get some first-half stats.
Yeah, so a really weird game.
Yes.
Ethan Hamilton has 5 passing attempts. What is it?
Is that the most? Have you kept track of how many passing attempts?
I've kept a track of attempts. I think he
game?
had more in the West Brunswick game and in the Somerville game.
Oh, okay.
He was 1 of 10 in the Somerville game. But he had. I'll read you his attempts totals.
Okay.
11, 10, 5, 6. Pause. 7, 3, and then 3, and then 8 last week.
So he's thrown it more times than in half of the games.
In half the games, and we're at halftime right
now. So he may get more than the entire than any game that he's played.
Yeah. So, but he's at 22 yards passing on the 2 ones that he has completed. Khalil Johnson. I don't know if Mark Morris is trying to run him into the ground, but he's got 18 carries right now for a solid 104 yards.
And like we talked about before, there's that added issue of the labrum tear last year.
Right.
Last season.
Ethan Hamilton has been pretty efficient. He's got 7 carries for 36 yards, so a little under 6 yards a carry, but he's also got that 13-yard rushing touchdown that was the only touchdown of the game so far. Jaron Fox with his 1 carry for 5. And then 2 names that we haven't called pretty much at all this year. Actually, 1 name that we haven't called at all this year. Michael Young with the 10-yard catch, and then Jamari Davis, who we have called, but not on the offensive side, on the defense side. He has the 12-yard catch for for Ethan Hamilton.
Yeah. And I wonder why there has been such a weird personnel situation tonight.
You wonder if it's just because
it's a Thursday game.
Well, it's a Thursday game. No, not even that. You wonder if it's because it's Socastee.
But you would think, if anything, like in the receiving core, I can see that because they're bringing in kind of backup type players. But having Khalil Johnson run all the time instead of maybe,
Jaron Fox,
giving Jaron Fox or Christopher Livingston, or even having Quavius Strong come in a little more.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. This has just been a very weird game. I was expecting us to come out here and dominate. I was expecting at least 21-0 going into half.
Yeah.
But clearly we haven't seen that.
No.
On defense, the forced fumble by Charles McCray on that far side was absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
We love that. That set up the Panthers touchdown. And then our leading tacklers, it's a whole bunch of people with 2 tackles. We've learned today that Carolina Forest, their official stats keepers, anytime a defender touches a player, it's a tackle. Because we had some very, very inflated numbers. And I wonder if that's because when they send out information, they can say, he has this many tackles.
Probably.
But on my account, I count the main tackler as who got the tackle.
Or if anything, give like a 0.5 to it that says like
like a sack.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it while calling the game and trying to keep as pinpoint stats as possible.
I get it.
It's rough, but there's a whole bunch of people with 2 tackles. The Jonathan Principe tackle for loss earlier was really good, and he also has a sack. So just really, really good all around from Jonathan Principe today. And then I do have a score update for the Sumter St. James game, and it's good news for us.
Oh.
Sumter up 7-0 with 8:49 to go in the first quarter.
Okay. Still early, but the fact that Sumter was able to score so early in the game is a good sign.
And Sumter actually just scored again.
Oh, so
Cameron Fortune touchdown, 14-0 now. I saw Max Preps has the update. Has the more updated. That was with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter, so a pretty quick turnaround on the touchdown drives.
Yeah, which, again, good sign for Carolina Forest.
But, again, what I'm more worried about
is will the Panthers be able to keep the –
Well, I think that I think Mark Morris is just doing – okay, I'll put it in very, very simple terms.
Okay.
I think Mark Morris just does not not respect, but he just doesn't take Socastee as seriously as other.
Well,
like,
I mean,
we saw last week it was more of a balanced offense and yada yada yada. But
I mean, to be fair, he has beaten Socastee every single time since he came to Carolina Forest, except for the first season.
Right.
But that wasn't really his team.
Right.
Panthers are currently on a 8-game winning streak against Socastee.
Right.
So, that may play a factor.
So I'm going by the Max Preps updates. St. James had just punted to Sumter again. So again, just a very
quick 3 and out.
I would assume that's a 3 and out by.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you,
okay,
if you're Mark Morris, do you just take Khalil Johnson out in the second half? He's already over 100 yards rushing.
This close? Probably not. I mean, especially with how well the defense has played, I don't think you're really in that much of a threat, but you don't want to get into a situation like last week against Sumter. Granted, Sumter is a hell of a lot better team than Socastee is,
right?
But you don't want to get into a situation where
we've seen this defense fall apart in the final quarter before.
Yeah.
If this game is even remotely close in the fourth quarter, that scares me a little bit,
yeah,
even with how good this defense has played so far.
Yeah, yeah. But I wouldn't take Khalil Johnson out of the game entirely, but I definitely think he needs to put more running backs in and get Khalil Johnson a little bit of rest.
That's the most concerning part. Is I don't think Khalil Johnson's been off the field for a single offensive snap today.
No, he hasn't.
It's slightly ridiculous.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, especially considering the injury history last year, I'd be a little worried.
I definitely would be too. So what would you do? So what is your adjustment then if you're Mark Morris?
Go back to what's been working with the rotation.
So basically just, do what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
I also think this Socastee run defense is getting aided by the fact that maybe, again, like we were mentioning, this is a Thursday game.
Yeah.
Maybe Khalil Johnson's legs aren't 100% rested up. But wouldn't you think that would lead to
them using more
running back?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't really get
this.
I don't know.
I don't know. But before we get some analysis going into the second half, we'll go next level for the Panthers this week. Only a couple of games. Campbell hosting Maine. Coastal travels to Arkansas State. East Carolina hosting Charlotte. And Wofford travels to Mercer. For Socastee, they don't have anyone at the next level college. They do have someone in the NFL, though. Hunter Renfro.
Yeah. As much as I love Coastal, it's been very up and down.
Oh, yes.
It's been very up and down. Very, very, very up and down.
The big test is going to be in a couple of weeks against Marshall.
Yeah.
But, at home. But, so as they're finishing up the homecoming court on the field here at homecoming
2023 homecoming.
The schedule, and I guess 2021 was just a weird year because of the COVID schedule.
Right.
But it's weird that it's not senior day today, considering.
Well, I think they didn't. I just think there are so many people who are seniors with how many things that they had to do band, football, and the dance team that they have now.
Yeah.
So it would just be rough to fit all of that in one day.
Yeah.
Sumter's back inside the St. James 20. So
hey, we may be able to essentially say that it's a foregone conclusion by the end of this game, as long as the Panthers are able to keep the score where it is. And I mean, we talked about it before. Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, and you want to go one game at a time. Of course.
Right.
But the good thing about being able to get the win last week against Sumter, and presumably, as long as those scores hold, winning the region. And maybe this is what Mark Morris is trying to do in this game as well. You are afforded the opportunity to be able to, and it's crazy to say, but this is just the way high school sports are, but you are essentially afforded the chance to experiment for the next couple of weeks, because not only you're going to play St. James next week, who, yes, they're playing decently well this year, but they're definitely a beatable team for Carolina Forest.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have a bottom-of-the-barrel team in the lower state in the first round of the playoffs, who you should be able to beat pretty handily. So you've got a couple of weeks that you can experiment before you really, truly get into the playoffs.
Yeah, it just is rather concerning as to why, if that's the case, then you're running Khalil Johnson into the ground.
Yes. I agree with that.
I don't know. Only Mark Morris knows what's going inside his head.
Yes.
I just hope that this doesn't come back to bite Carolina Forest at some point with an injury.
Yeah.
Especially to Khalil Johnson.
Yeah, and especially considering the history with last year.
Right.
So we are just a few moments away from the beginning of the second half.
Speaking of, with how quickly this game has gone.
Yeah.
We were talking about Thursday Night Football NFL style. We might actually be home
Yeah.
for it hasn't even started yet. We're already at halftime. So, not that it really matters.
Yeah.
But
we may be able to see the second half.
Facts.
This is a moment you may have been waiting for.
But,
We have been selling
so you asked the question to me.
Yeah.
What would you do with Khalil Johnson in the second half?
Well, okay, if you're using Christopher Livingston as a linebacker, I wouldn't use him on the running back. That's if we're talking about injuries, that's the number one way is play both sides.
Yeah.
You saw what happened. Well, Travis Hunter's situation was a little bit different, but injury risk is increased if you're on the field. It's just simple math.
Yeah.
I would just run more I would run Jared Fox as the number one back in the second half, and then have Khalil Johnson come in when he
For
needs
like
a breather.
the triple option.
Well,
and
stuff like that nature. But even if he just needs a breather, then just let it go.
would you bring in Quavius Drawn and Quavon Ward?
Not yet.
No?
I wouldn't do it yet because you're getting to. While we say that the running back room is deep, and they are because there's 3 different running backs that can carry the ball.
Yeah.
Quavius Drawn, I think, is where the drop off is a little bit bigger. And not saying
What's crazy about that though is at the beginning of the season he was the number 3 back.
Right, and the fact that we're talking about the number 3 back being replaced by someone else who has leapfrogged him is ridiculous because
not only leapfrogged him but also leapfrogged Christopher Livingston as well.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready for the second half to start. The teams are going back to the sidelines right now. This is Panthers get the ball to start the second half.
Yep.
This is the most telling offensive drive that we will see all night.
And this could be the drive where, okay, you score here, you get a comfortable lead. Now you can kind of
toast a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
So we'll have to see what Mark Morris has planned to start the second half.
Sumter has taken a 21-0 lead, and we are still in the first quarter of that game, by the way.
Yeah. So I'm obviously anything can happen in football.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think by the time this game is over, we will know for certain.
I mean, I can tell you probably right now what's going to happen.
So can I probably. I'm just giving St. James a tiny bit of the benefit of the doubt.
mean, shoot, we could still see an upset in this game, too.
True. No, that's the thing. I'd be more worried about seeing an upset in this game right now than in that game, considering how that game's going thus far.
Right. All right. I'm going off the max preps because that game is at 21-0. So I'm moving that.
Well, we'll give you some updates periodically throughout the second half. But
I'll try to.
As long as it stays where it's at, I mean.
Carolina Forest is controls their own destiny in terms of if that stays where that is. As The ball is on the tee, and Socastee is ready to kick it away to Carolina Forest to start the second half.
Actually,
as the kick is up, and it's pooched, and it's going to be fielded at the 30-yard line. He's going to be able to make a couple guys miss and bring it up to the 38-yard line, maybe give or take.
And actually, I take you mentioned. Well, actually, no, I take that back. They would still have their destiny in their hands. But it would not be an automatic clinch.
Right.
If St. James lost, but Carolina Forest lost.
Right. As Carolina Forest is going to set up at the 38-yard line, and they're going to hand it off to Khalil Johnson in the jet sweep, and he's going to get to the outside. He's going to make one guy miss, but gets tripped up at the 45 to 46-yard line, but there's a flag in the backfield.
This one's coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a illegal block in the back.
And they had Khalil Johnson in the jet sweep right there. And we saw him do the same thing against Southern that first drive, and then they never went to it again after that first drive.
And I was looking at the records to see where everyone stands. Getting too far ahead of ourselves, I don't think Carolina Forest would lose to St. James or anything like that.
Right.
But how heartbreaking would it be if they beat Sumter and then
lost to both
and still didn't win the region?
That would suck.
Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Hamilton takes a snap, hands it off to Johnson on the jet sweep. He gets it, makes a couple of guys miss their tackles, breaks a couple of tackles, and gets the first down. Gets taken down at the 39-yard line. That's enough. Oh wait, no, I take that back. It's
not enough for a first down.
Because of the penalty, it got pushed back. So they do get back to the original line and a little bit past it. It is 2nd and 9.
So, but again, a great run by Khalil Johnson to get that penalty yardage back, and then a little bit just to make it a second and manageable.
Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Hamilton motions Fox out on the jet sweep, and it's actually a fake jet sweep rush, read option for Hamilton, and he'll get a gain of a couple, and it'll be 3rd and 5.
And again, two pretty decent runs to get the penalty yardage back and force it and get a 3rd and 5 after a 1st and 20.
And they are changing things up, bringing Jaron Fox in, now using both Fox and Johnson out, but using them more as like
decoys?
Wide receivers
like
or
slot,
decoys and running a lot of jet sweeps. Now they'll go 2 running back set, 2 wide on the far side. Hamilton will keep it himself. Tries to get around the corner, pitches it out to Fox. Fox got the lane. He's got one man to beat, but will get pushed out of bounds at the 41-yard line, and that'll be enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. I was worried there for a second that was completely clogged up.
It was, but Khalil Johnson or Ethan Hamilton was able to get to the outside, and the thing about the triple option is that it's always available.
Yeah.
You don't have to pitch it at the line, and that's exactly what happened. And Jaron Fox was able to get to the outside and get around to the corner.
They'll go with the 2 running back set again, 1 wide on either side. Hamilton hands it off to Johnson, and Johnson gets taken down at the 39-yard line for a gain of 2.
And this, not on that run, but this looks a lot better than it did the first half, especially on offense. It looks a lot more fluid, and it looks a lot more what we're used to seeing from this Carolina Forest offense.
Well, and it's because they're running the 2 running back set. That's been the thing. The triple option has been what's been working the most for the Panthers offense. They'll go 2 running back set again, 2 wide on the near side. Hamilton calling out a play. Now gets set. Motions over into the H-back position. Hands it off to Johnson. Johnson tries to find a lane, but a tribe of Braves will take him down at the line of scrimmage.
And not a whole lot doing. There was also a miscommunication on that play, too. Jaron Fox and Khalil Johnson both went to go take the handoff, and no one went to stay for the pitch.
Yeah.
And so that was the big miscommunication there, and that kind of clogged the lane for Khalil Johnson a little bit more.
Ball's on the 39-yard line.
And it's weird that they're switching it up. Like for the entire season, it was always Fox gets the handoff, Johnson is the one to go out for the pitch. And now they're trying to switch it up a bit. They'll go 2 running back set again, 2 wide on the near side. Hamilton motions over to the near side H-back. Hands off to, oh no, keeps it himself. Hamilton gets a hole and gets tripped up, falls forward to the 31-yard line. And that will get him just short of the line to gain. They'll mark him down at the 32-yard line, and it's 4th and 1. And it looks like the Panthers are going to go for it.
And they definitely should. This is exactly where you want to go for it. This is no man's land. You're not going to punt it from here, and you're definitely not going to kick a field goal from here. So you just got to go for it, especially on 4th and 1.
Yeah. Heavy shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side, H-back and tight end on. Wide receivers on the far side, tight end and H-back on the near side. They'll hand it off to Johnson,
close.
And he gets
This is going to be really dependent on the spot.
Right at the line to gain. I think he got it. And they're going to bring, they're going to bring the chains out. Oh no, they're going to signal first down.
They're going to take a timeout on the ref. They're going to bring the chains out.
Yeah, I thought I saw the ref motion for the chains to come out.
The defense is already coming out on the field for the Panthers, though.
They're going to come out to measure it.
Attention. We're looking for a driver, Julio Chavez, who's driving a silver Ford Fiesta, license plate WTU 150. You're parked in front of a gate.
First down.
And it'll be enough for a first down.
Wow. Barely. That was the to name drop a great Adam Sandler movie. That was the longest yard. That was very, very close. But it's a first down. It's
just enough for a Tony McAfee.
Tony McAfee, not Pat McAfee, like I've said in the past. But Tony McAfee, State Farm, come out force first down, and that's exactly what you want. Yeah. And keeps the clock moving and keeps Socastee's offense off the field.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. We'll go shotgun set with 2 wide on the far side. Tight end moving from, and a with.
Timeout coming off.
Timeout is called by Carolina Forest with 7:10 left to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a quick break with them. 10-0 Panthers in the lead here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
7:10 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Panthers up 10-0 and driving.
Anyone driving a silver Ford Fiesta.
The point in which this Carolina Forest Panthers offense just needs to instill some confidence back in themselves. Mm-hmm. There was a lackadaisical first half. Can they get a touchdown? They looked very good early in this drive, and now they've kind of matriculated the ball down the field. Let's see what they can do on this first down play.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off to Johnson. Johnson finds a bit of a lane, plows forward, is able to get out of the pile of bodies for a moment, and gets taken down at the 27-yard line, and it'll be 2nd and 6.
And they just seem very much ball control.
Yeah.
Just wind the clock down. It is what it is. It just doesn't show what the offense can truly do.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Hamilton takes the snap, hands it off to Johnson, and Johnson finds a bit of a lane before a tribe of Braves hold him up.
Oh, yes, the tribe of Panthers. I'll let that one
That'll
go.
be enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down, and they get into the red zone once again.
it just seems very slow, methodical, which is fine.
That's just the way this offense is built now. Seems.
But there's not that we haven't seen a single 20-plus yard run today.
No,
and that's not that it's bad. It's just okay.
Khalil Johnson got stood up in the backfield for a loss of 1. That was Ethan Godwin came in for the tackle.
Yeah, hard-hitting analysis there. Oh, that was my play-by-play right there.
Yeah.
I
just nowhere to go.
Nothing to do.
So it'll be 2nd and 11. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Hamilton takes the snap, will run speed option, keep it himself, and will still keep it himself. Rolls forward to the 12-yard line. And that was probably a smart decision by him, even though the read was staying on him. Probably a smart decision to hold on to the ball.
Yeah, especially because he broke a couple tackles on the way there. So not only was it the smart decision to keep it because you don't want to force you don't have a turnover, but also he was able to break a couple tackles, and that's what we've seen Ethan Hamilton do all season long.
So that'll make it 3rd and 2. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Hamilton takes the snap, hands off to Johnson. Johnson gets stood up at the line of scrimmage. And again, Ethan Godwin breaking through his blocker and getting into the backfield. And at this point, the offensive line, that left guard and center, or right guard and center, whoever you want, needs to start double teaming him.
Yeah, it's getting a little ridiculous. And you wonder if maybe this could also be the thing where maybe Sumter put on tape what to do to beat Carolina Forest.
Yeah.
And maybe
that's not a good sign.
And that's not a good sign moving forward, right.
So it'll be a 4th and 2. They're going to go for it. Run speed option, pitches it out to Johnson. Johnson breaks it inside. He's got a lane. He's falling forward, and he will be just short of the goal line. But that will be enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
That was a really good. That's running the speed option to perfection.
Yeah.
That was.
And a good job by Khalil Johnson seeing that the outside wasn't open and cutting it back inside.
And they're finally going to take Khalil. This might be the first offensive play without Khalil Johnson on the field as they're taking him out finally.
Are they bringing in Livingston?
It looks like Livingston's in.
Yeah, so the goal line back, and they will hand it off to Livingston, and he'll just plow his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That was, you knew what was coming. I knew what was coming. Everyone knew what was coming.
It's like the tush push with the Eagles.
With the Eagles. I don't know if it's that broken. I don't know if Christopher Livingston is that overpowered.
Not quite, but, Or, okay, a better example is with Derrick Henry on the goal line.
Yeah. I would, actually, you know what it is? It's Tom Brady. Tom Brady was on QB sneak at the 1, you knew what was coming, you just couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
It wasn't nearly as broken as the brotherly shove, but as J.J. Chaddock's extra point is up and good, so that stretches the lead to 17. And
I know that they've lost bigger leads in games when they've let off the gas pedal, but is this the point now where you start taking
Not until fourth quarter.
No.
I wouldn't, if the offense gets the ball back in the third quarter, I wouldn't take any of the starters out yet.
With how these offenses have been moving the ball, I'm guessing no.
No, yeah. Gonna. I'm going to see if I can find – Sumter is currently up 28-0 now. So we're just it's beautiful here.
I think it's a foregone conclusion.
I think so too, but in that game.
In that game. No. I'm not saying in this one. I'm saying in that game.
We don't say anything about our own games.
No.
We jinx things a lot. But that was a really good drive.
Yes.
I did like that drive a lot.
That was the most efficient as J.J. Chaddock puts the kick up, and it will be caught. This one a little bit further, about halfway into the end zone for the touchback. But that was the Panthers have had all game.
Yeah, that was probably the best offensive drive that I've seen.
Maybe this will be the reverse. The offense isn't able to get much done, but the second half they come out and dominate.
Yeah, you would hope so,
Yeah.
but I also don't think they're going to need to dominate like that last drive against Sumter.
No. Shotgun set, empty back. They'll run the jet sweep to Scott. Scott tries to find a lane, but
on the defense, especially again, that jet sweep has been pretty dangerous so far. And that jet sweep has been pretty dangerous so far. And you almost wonder when there's going to be like a big run off that jet sweep.
They'll go empty backfield again. This time they'll move Scott over to the near side from the far side. 4 wide receivers. And then I think the back judge threw the flag just as the whistle was being blown. So with 2:25 left to go in the third quarter.
Distance are no problem. They're active in your community with youth sports and lending a helping hand. Call them to be a part of the family with your furry friend. 843-903-4554 or at ComfortDogSalon.com. Or just stop by with your furry friend at 4006 Postal Way, Myrtle Beach.
They'll run the jet sweep on the first play coming out of the timeout. Kadir Scott will get down to the 34-yard line, and that'll be just a little short of a first down.
No, they're giving him the first down.
Oh, okay, they actually gave him the first down. So it'll be 1st and 10, ball on the 29-yard line. Or 34-yard line, excuse me. Shotgun set. 2 wide on either side. They'll run the motion, throwing it on the run, and incomplete. Just threw it away. Oh.
No, they're going to say he caught it.
Oh, wow.
They're going to say he caught it on that sideline right at the 40-yard line. Great, good coverage, though, by that corner. And that corner's down. He's down on the sideline.
That was Hayes Hardwick who made the catch on the 40-yard line.
Whoever.
It'll be a 2nd and 4.
I want to say that's Jordan Sandiford who's grabbing his right shoulder. Yeah, that's Jordan Sandiford who's coming out of the game.
Empty backfield, 2 wide on either side. Getting pressure and tripping up and getting sacked all the way back at the 24-yard line.
And it's Junior Jimenez. He has not done a whole lot tonight, but he's got the 2 sacks, which lead to the 2 tackles. But what a play by Junior Jimenez.
Yeah.
He was
got a little lucky with Wojciech tripping up,
but also he flew around that corner. I don't want to see that if I'm Wojciech.
No.
I don't want that.
No, not at all.
I want no piece of that.
So that makes it a 3rd and about from here to Socastee.
It's 3rd and 19. It's not that bad, which I guess is the point, because Socastee's not that far.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know I'm slow.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side, and a whistle is blown. And
I believe this is delay of game.
Now is it?
Now it's
from here to Socastee.
Now it's from here to Socastee. I'll take that.
Yeah, it's going to be a delay of game on Socastee. 23.7 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
A very quick moving third quarter.
Yes.
As well.
This game may be over before 9 o'clock.
That's pushing it a little bit.
Maybe.
We'll probably be on air for another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Minimum.
They'll go empty backfield. 3 wide on the far side. Wojciech takes the snap, 3-step drop, looking down the middle of the field, and it's caught down the middle of the field, pushing forward to the 41-yard line is number 1, Jonathan Godwin with the catch.
And the bad part about that is that it's not a first down, but it's close enough to the first down marker where they're going to go for it here on 4th down and feel comfortable about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know who took the timeout.
I believe.
I think.
Oh, no, that was the end of the third quarter.
End of the third quarter.
So.
See, this is what happens. We don't expect the game to be over, to go that fast.
Yeah. So we'll take a quick break, head into the fourth quarter with the Panthers up 17-0 here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Start of the fourth quarter with the Panthers up 17-0. And the Panthers trying to get a shutout on Socastee. Last time the Panthers got a shutout was a couple of years ago against New Hanover.
Yep.
28-0.
My first year doing it.
Yep.
My first year doing color commentary.
The second game of the season.
Wow, that is right because we played West Brunswick and then New Hanover.
Yeah. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side for Socastee. They'll actually, nope, thought they were going pistol, but decided to move. Wojcik calling out a play. Takes a snap, 3-step drop, pressure coming from the blind side, and he has to throw it incomplete, trying to get it.
And I'll tell you what, if I tracked quarterback pressers, it would definitely be Charles McCray on that because going
down the middle of the field,
that your passing game just goes wide open.
And a perfect throw, just lofted it over the defense, did Ethan Hamilton, and J.J. Shattuck puts the extra point up and good. And with 11:44 left to go in the game, it is 20. Game has gone the.
I'll let you do it. I'll let you go. But also,
yes.
You can go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes.
No, go ahead and say it.
No, yes. That part I will keep.
Go ahead.
If this game, if the Panthers win this game and Sumter keeps their lead, and next week is essentially a meaningless game, and he launches it deep. This time launching it. The Thursday night game, getting that that weird feeling out of your body, but this Carolina Forest team has looked complete. But I'm Shattuck not kicking it as they'll pitch it out and trying to break it inside. Finally getting a big gain is Kadir Scott, and he'll get pushed out of bounds at the 36-yard line. And that'll be a Socastee first down. They'll actually mark him down at the 37. But even J.J. Shattuck, I mentioned in the first half, not kicking it quite as far in the first half. Now he's booting it out of the end zone.
Yeah, that is the difference, I think, because Carolina Forest is just they've looked a lot better in the second half.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side for Socastee. They'll run the triple option, pitches it out to Scott. Scott tries to get around the corner, but a prowl of Panthers are right there to hold him up, and he's only able to get a gain of a couple.
And I think the players on the field are starting to, feel it. I think they know that this game, and maybe they don't know that the score of the other game, but they're
feeling it.
They're feeling it down there that they're close to a region championship.
They probably know in the back of their minds that more than likely Sumter is going to beat St. James.
Right.
They'll go empty backfield, run the jet sweep, handing it off to Goswick.
Jonathan Rivas on that tackle was just again, we talked about film room, how to tackle. That right there is by Jonathan Rivas. That will be in the film room of how to tackle.
Only a gain of 1, so it'll be 3rd and 6 for Socastee. Going empty backfield again. 3 wide on the far side, 2 on the near side. Wojcik calling out a play. Now gets set. Runs the... Oh, no, they will hand it off to Scott, and he'll get pushed out of bounds in front of the line of scrimmage for a loss of maybe one or two.
Yeah, there wasn't even. I mean, there were Panthers there, obviously, but that was more of a just ushered him to the sideline and got him out of bounds. But
trying to get it to, I believe that was Goswick. So it'll be 2nd and 10.
This is the part of the game where you said we might be off the air, or I said 9 o'clock, but you said the game might be over before 9. It's not going to be because they're going to keep throwing the ball.
Because now Socastee's going to throw the ball a bunch, and it's going to slow this game down to a trickle. Empty backfield, 3 wide on the far side. Wojciech motions Scott. Play action, jet sweep, throwing it to Goswick, and it's incomplete. Just throwing it a little too short for Goswick.
And another incomplete pass stops the clock.
Yep. 9:22 left to go in the game.
I just need Carolina Force to get this ball back and then run the ball with Jaron Fox.
Get the ball back at like the 15-yard line so they have a long field.
Long field to go.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. 5-step drop, getting some pressure, but able to get it off. And
completed.
Getting taken down, Kadir Scott with the catch from Wojciech, and it will be a 4th and 4. Junior Jimenez with the tackle. Ball on the 36-yard line.
And at this point, this win did not feel like the dominant win on the offensive side, but the defense definitely showed up, and that is a good sign moving forward.
Yes. Shotgun set, empty backfield, 3 wide on the near side, 2 on the far side. Play action. Wojciech gets pressure, rolls out to his right, and gets pushed out of bounds at the 39-yard line.
That looks like a short spot.
Yeah, it's going to be short. We'll have to wait to see where it looks like they're spotting him even further back at the 38.
It didn't look like he got it on first glance of where he got out.
Unless he reached the ball out. That's the only thing I can think. Yeah, they're going to mark it even further back than I originally thought. And the Panthers get the ball back on the turnover on downs with 8.5 minutes left to go in the game. And upside but downside at the same time, Panthers already in Socastee territory, so they could easily score quickly. And then we're back to Socastee throwing the ball and stopping the clock.
What is that, back-to-back 3-and-outs, forced by Carolina Force Panthers defense? They have played they've probably played the best best 2 games of the entire season.
Hands down.
This past 2 games.
Well, I would say so. I would definitely say both. The entirety of the Sumter game, but especially the second half, keeping the Panthers in the game when the offense went cold.
The only problem that I have with this game
is the offense.
Is Khalil Johnson rushing inefficiency. He's at 20, he's at
Khalil
27.
Johnson just running it too much and wearing him down.
He's got 5.1 yards a carry right now. He's got 138 yards, but he's got 27 carries like he did last week.
Yeah.
And this is not – that's not the efficiency you want.
No.
And again, I wonder if this is more of a try stuff out game and see how it works. But why try stuff with one of your best offensive players? Like, I don't understand that. That's the only thing that really is the concern is, did Sumter truly put how to beat Carolina Forest on the huddle? Yeah. Did they finally say, all right, this is just what you have to do to stop this Carolina Forest running game?
Again, obviously not for this game. Probably not for the next 2 weeks. But as you get further into the playoffs and you're facing those tougher teams, that could come back to hurt them.
Right. And now, so now you look into next week and you say, how many of these starters actually play?
Yeah.
You got to wonder how many. And we talked about doing stats. You might only have to do stats for the wide receivers because and some of the running backs because who knows? Ethan Hamilton might not even play.
Yeah.
So, that's what I'm saying though. Is like it's a meaningless game at that point, especially if that other score holds, which I would
assume it does. Update?
I'm looking. It's the second quarter. St. James called a timeout with 25 seconds left. They're on the Sumter 37 with 25 seconds left in the half.
Still.
It is still 20. It's 28-0 still. So you would have to assume. I'll post I'll post the official on the Twitter after that game goes final.
Once it goes final, yeah.
But you can go ahead and write it down. If Carolina Forest wins this game, they will be Region 5 5A champions. Region 5, 5A.
Region 5 5A.
The ref is calling an unsportsmanlike conduct on Socastee. I don't know what for.
I don't know. Probably something because I think there was a player down on the Socastee sideline, a Carolina Forest player.
Oh,
down on that tackle on the fourth down.
Yeah, so they're going to move this ball up. And I'm noticing Philip McLean is out of the game. Khalil Johnson is out of the game. And I'm trying to see if Ethan Hamilton's still in. But Philip McLean and Khalil Johnson, the two main
two stars.
Two stars are currently out of the game. And that should tell you something. This game is this game's over.
Yeah. 8.5 left to go, 24-0. Pretty sure that this one
pretty decisively over.
Jaron Fox now out there at the running back position. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Low snap, Hamilton hands it off to Fox, and he keeps himself, breaks the tackle, and goes into, yes, they will say he got in.
1 yard line. They're
okay.
1 yard line.
I thought
there's also a flag down.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw the ref go like this.
Yeah, he held the one hand up for where he was down, but this one's gonna be coming back. There's a flag down. Yeah, it's gonna be holding on Carolina Forest, so that one's coming back.
So all of that effort for nothing.
Oh, poor Ethan Hamilton.
8:18 left to go in the game. 24-0 Panthers.
This was, as for the 24-0 game that it was. This was a relatively uneventful game.
Yes.
And it seems weird to say that in a region clinching game.
Yeah.
But it just was very uneventful.
Well, and I mean, this year has been kind of the outlier. But in the last couple of years, you've come to expect like this big play dynamism of the Panthers offense as Hamilton will step back to pass, throws it short, and it is incomplete.
So it's interesting on that first down play, because of where the holding was, they got 1st and 5 instead of because of where the holding was.
Yeah.
So it's currently 2nd and 5, even though they had the penalty.
Yeah.
Because of where the penalty was, that is where they Panthers set up.
So it'll be 2nd and 5. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side for the Panthers.
You know what sucks, though? That stops the clock.
Yeah.
We need the clock to keep on moving. Keep on moving.
Hamilton takes the snap, hands it off to Fox, and he'll get stood up right at the line of scrimmage. Actually, will lose a yard, and it will be 3rd and 8, or 3rd and 7. And there's your wish. The clock is running.
Yes, keep on moving. Keep on moving. Keep on moving. Move the clock. Move the clock. All right, I'm going to stop. But you get my point.
Yes. Yes. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Hamilton, low snap, throws it way. Oh no, actually, it's almost caught.
And I'll tell you what, Ethan Hamilton took a shot on that play. All the offensive linemen are checking on him, but he looks slightly woozy. It's 4th down. I don't know why their offense is still on the field. The field goal team should be coming on. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
JJ Check's going to come on and try to kick a field goal with 7:19 to go. That also stops the clock. But yeah, Ethan Hamilton looks really ginger. He's coming up really ginger.
So I wonder if that would signal the end of his day.
I would go to venture that that's the end of his day, as JJ Check's going to attempt a 37-yard field goal.
The kick for Chaddock is up and no good. It looked to me from our angle that it was going good.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I knew.
Yeah, I think it may have missed a little bit to the right. But either way, with 7:19 remaining in the game, 24-0, but the Braves do get the ball back.
And I think the medical staff is going to come look at Ethan Hamilton.
I mean,
I think they're trying to find him because he got hit in the head. Yeah, they're looking. They're gonna. This could be a concussion.
Yeah.
But the good news is that in order to clear concussion protocol, if that is the case, they have next week because of the clinch.
Yeah.
So if you need to rest Ethan Hamilton, you can.
Yeah, exactly. Snap, 3-step drop, throwing it deep down the near side and almost completing the pass.
Ball falls incomplete.
To number 6. Actually, I believe that was number 8, Kadir Scott, who was the intended target. But either way, it'll be 2nd and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
And as much as I love the defense to get a shutout, I need the clock to move. I need the clock to move.
Yeah, this game has just gone to a snail's pace now.
It has.
Shotgun set, empty backfield, 2 wide on either side. They'll motion a man over to the near side. Wojcik getting some pressure, throwing it up, and it's intercepted by the Panthers.
Jamari Davis with the interception. And if that doesn't tell you how well this defense has performed tonight, nothing will. Jamari Davis with the interception. That's the 2nd turnover force tonight. And especially in high school football, you don't see many turnovers. If you can get a +2 turnover differential, that is huge.
Yeah. And
Ethan Hamilton's still in.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
I was getting ready to look to see if there was another quarterback out there, but looks like Ethan Hamilton's coming back out. So
1st and 10 for the Panthers on the 42.
Must have cleared concussion protocol.
That was pretty quick.
Yeah.
What are we, the NFL?
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Hamilton takes a snap, hands it off.
Jaron Fox.
Jaron Fox gets a hole and gets tripped up at the 33-yard line. And that'll be just short of the line to gain.
Yeah, 2nd.
Yeah, they're going to say just short.
Nope, they're going to give him the first down.
Okay.
Yep.
The chain gang took a little while to move.
First down.
And that, honestly, Jaron Fox could have had a touchdown right there if he doesn't get tripped up. And
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm glad he didn't because I want this clock to move.
You want the clock to run. They'll hand it off to Fox.
No, that's not Fox this time.
Oh, no. That is, let's see.
It looked like 48.
Oh, going very deep.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, yeah. Okay. Oh, no, it is 48.
It is 48.
And that was number 48,
Chris Madrid.
Oh, gosh.
Going deep into the
Look, if they
into the depth chart.
If they go to any more running backs, I'm going to have to create another column for the running backs. As I think Christopher Livingston's in now.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Hamilton hands it off to Livingston. Livingston trying to push forward and gets taken down at the 22-yard line.
Number 25, Christopher.
Yeah, that's going to be a gain of about 3.
5.5 to go in the game.
And I'm going to try to give a couple more updates on this game.
Yeah.
St. James scored a touchdown, so that'll be 28-7.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that went into halftime because there's under a minute to go after that touchdown.
So not completely out
Don't
of the
call
way.
it a comeback.
Yeah.
It's not a comeback yet, but it's getting close.
Yeah. Just saying.
Just a 21-point game.
Sumter not completely out of the woods yet there.
well, up 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. So it'll be 1st and 10, ball on the 22-yard line. They'll hand it off to Livingston. It's Madrid.
Madrid again.
Yeah.
Chris Madrid on the carry.
Madrid takes it 8 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 2.
So this is now the, 5th running back that we've seen this year?
6th.
And he's 6th?
Yeah.
Khalil Johnson, Quavius Drawn, Christopher Livingston, Jaron Fox, Madrid.
And Quavon Ward.
Did we see Quavon?
Yeah.
Have we seen him in a regular season game?
Yeah. I think West Brunswick.
Oh, maybe. So 6th running back, and he's
Yeah.
getting 8 yards a carry, and he's getting 8 yards?
Yeah.
Heard.
Shotgun set, one wide on either side. They'll hand it off to Madrid again. Madrid tries to plow forward. Still on his feet, bringing a tribe of Braves forward to the 9-yard line. Make it 10-yard line. And that'll be another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
Oh, my gracious.
He's big,
He
too.
is big.
He could be another Christopher Livingston type running goal line back.
Yeah.
That just shows
The depth.
the depth and power of the running game for Carolina Forest. They'll hand it off to Madrid again. This time he shows his speed. He gets around the corner before getting tripped up at the 4-yard line.
Uh-oh. Are we gonna see a Chris Madrid sighting? If you have Chris Madrid on your fantasy team, you're about to get some big points.
You have just got deep into the waiver wire.
Oh God. Like we made jokes about it with Khalil Johnson,
Yeah.
but Chris Madrid.
Shotgun set.
Please get in the end zone.
1 wide. Yes. We want a Chris Madrid touchdown, and we've got it.
Get one.
We get it. A 4-yard touchdown run for Chris Madrid puts the Panthers even further out in front. It is now 30-0.
What are we even doing anymore?
The depth in the running game on this team.
And I'm assuming that's his first. We didn't see him last year, so that would be his first career his first high school touchdown.
Yeah. And he's a junior, so.
Oh God. As the extra point is up and good.
And that's number 81, J.J. Janik.
And
For the point
this
after.
game, what's the bottom of that list of biggest blowouts? 42.
Yes, 42.
So it's not going to get there. Probably won't.
More than likely not.
But and we're assuming this shutout
Well, actually
holds.
40.
40?
40.
Yeah, so
So probably
yeah,
not.
not going to get there. But
Off at the stadium. Now is the
And,
time for your parents to come and get you. The
this
stadium will be
the number's going to be a little bit inflated because of garbage time scores.
Yeah.
Stick around after
But
the game for the
this
Panthers
defense looks absolutely nasty.
putting on their
And
award-winning show.
if I'm Mark Morris, I'm not even playing any of the starters next week. I'm
No.
telling you guys get a break, which makes my job a little bit harder if I'm calling play-by-play next week. But it's okay.
I'm going to have to figure out how to make a spotting board for you while
I say you just make 2 spotting boards and do one with starters and one
and
with
one
not.
with all of everyone else.
Everyone else, yeah.
Or I'll just have the roster too.
Right.
Because we're going into 6 deep on
6
running
deep
back.
running backs as
Nice kick into the end zone.
the kickoff is into the end zone, which will set up a Socastee touchback.
20-yard line.
This game is over.
Oh, yeah.
The St. James Sumter game is at halftime currently.
Big thanks to Sparks
If that score holds,
Dealer is always in.
Carolina Forest, for the second time in program history, wins the region.
okay, look. I know I'm really excited for Carolina Forest to win the region,
Oh, yeah.
but I also need to have this game over. Call me Scott Hansen because if you know, he does not take bathroom breaks. And I'm at the end of my 7 hours of commercial-free football.
Shotgun set 2 wide on either side, pitching it out to
That's number 8.
Quavius Scott. And he gets taken down for a loss of 3. And it is now 2nd and 13. Hey, at least it was a running play. They basically are waving the white flag.
Yeah, this is
at this point. With 2:45 left to go in the game.
Clock is running.
Empty backfield. They'll run the jet sweep with Scott again. He tries to break it inside, but gets taken down at the 23-yard line. As there's a mic.
There's a mic. There's a hot mic on the field, so hopefully no one cusses.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Finally cut it. I think they finally cut it off.
They've cut it off a few times now.
Yeah. 2 minutes left to go.
Someone's mic was on.
Yeah. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Wojcik, 3-step drop, looking, scrambles out to his right, throws it on the run, and it's almost intercepted.
It's incomplete. God,
and the clock stops with 1:49 left to go.
Oh, wait, no, we're in. Oh, we're not.
No, not quite. 35. I think it's
35?
either 30. I think it's 35.
Dang.
Yeah, only you need 4 more points.
It's not going to happen.
No. Especially not with 1:49 left to go.
Right. And I don't think word has
They're
gotten.
punting it, I believe.
They're.
Woo! So the Panthers get the ball back. Yeah, they're going to punt it away
And
on 4th and 7.
You see some of these Carolina Forest players are jumping. They are.
Oh, they're
know. Excited. They know, and they know what the other game is.
Yeah, I'm sure
I'm sure they don't know the score,
yeah,
but I know they know what the game is. As they're going to take a timeout, I believe, to avoid the delayed game.
1:49 left to go in this game before the Panthers obviously can't officially celebrate, but
they definitely can start celebrating.
Has the second half begun?
No, it has not.
Not yet.
Fuel your tailgater with a Big Bow box. And Logan's Roadhouse.
1:49, and I mean the craziness of how quickly Mark Morris has turned this program into a powerhouse.
Oh yeah.
It not only in the area, but making it to the lower state finals in 2019, making it to the lower state semifinals last year. Trying to make a big run this year and winning the region for the second time in program history, as that will take a Socastee bounce, and Carolina Forest will start their drive on the 30-yard line.
And you can tell these players are starting to get hyped.
Yeah.
All of the backups are in.
Yeah.
Ethan Hamilton's going to come in, but I'd be really surprised if he takes a carry right here.
Oh, yeah, no.
Do you have number 30? No, 40. No, I think Madrid is coming back in.
I believe that's Madrid.
Madrid's coming back in. They're going in victory formation.
Yeah.
This is probably the best feeling that I've had calling these games in the 3 years that I've been here. This has been an amazing season so far.
He takes the knee, and we'll just need one more.
Nope, run the football like Miami did. And
No! Well, I mean, at least this game isn't close.
Yeah, this game's not even close.
At least this game doesn't have the chance to be a blunder like that.
It'll probably be 2 more snaps, but
yeah.
In about 1 minute and 5 seconds,
the Panthers, unofficially, but technically,
based on scores.
And they are going to actually go into shotgun. 2 wide on either side. They'll run a jet sweep and gain some room, and gain all the way out.
Yeah, they're going to take
to
one
the
more snap.
33-yard line is number 14, Jao Ricci.
God, where are we doing, guys?
30, and I believe, game clock is just a few seconds behind the play clock. So they'll run one more play, and they'll go into victory formation once more. And this Panther team, after the kneel down, and that will do it. The Panthers win this one 31-0, and presumably, not officially yet, but as long as the score holds in the Sumter St. James game, the Carolina Forest Panthers, for the second time in program history, have won a region championship.
It is huge, but what's also crazy is that this team was deemed okay. This team did to get there is absolutely amazing because they even lost the same 3 games that last year's team lost, and then was able to bounce back from that and beat Sumter, and now presumably clinch the Region 5 title.
Next week, facing off against St. James at St. James. We'll have to wait to see if if the starters play. But once again, the Panthers 31-0, unofficially, but pretty much guaranteed, clinching Region 5 5A. And what makes it a little trickier for us next week in terms of projecting the playoffs is that they will have an at-large team.
Yeah.
So you won't really fully know because teams can decide whether or not they want to take that at-large bid. We'll have the teams that could potentially be in that spot, and we'll keep track of those games throughout next week. But any final words?
Go Sumter.
Yes.
That's the final word.
Right now, every Panther fan needs to be cheering on for the Sumter Gamecocks. It's weird saying that after last week.
Right.
But
it makes sense.
Root for the Gamecocks. Hope they win. Finish off that game. Keep the score at 28-0. 28-7. Keep that lead. And as long as that lead holds, which we will post on Twitter as soon as that game goes final, as long as that game holds, the Panthers will be Region 5 5A champions this season and will get the number 1 seed in the lower state in the state championship. For Preston Payne, I'm Brandon Biskobing saying so long once again. Final score 31-0. Panthers win it here in the home finale of the 2023 season.